What's up, family? Before we start today's episode, I just want to talk to you about a great service called Anchor. What is Anchor? It's the one tool you need if you're wanting to get into podcasting or find a ton of new shows. It's easy to set up and even connects you with potential sponsors. Oh, and the best part? It streams to all major podcasting platforms for the low price of free. Yup, free. So head to anchor.fm, sign up for the free, and get your podcast started today.
What's going on, fellas? Welcome to For Men by Men, a podcast where we take the internal thoughts of men to external growth, purposely creating an authentic generation of godly men. We are your hosts, Michael Aparicio,
Raji Rush,
Drexler B. James,
and Malik Williams.
My business is Kudos Food Dose. Basically, what Kudos Food Dose is the idea of celebrating food, making sure that we're not eating not necessarily healthy stuff, but like don't waste calories. Like if you don't eat something that's gonna be good. Like it should be a celebration every time you eat. Like wake up, eat amazing bacon. Like don't eat nothing mediocre. So I got the idea just by honestly watching Food Network. Somebody had said the word kudos and then boom, food dose, like all came together. I was originally working with somebody else. She didn't like the name and I was like, all right. So we just went our separate ways. We're still cool, but just went our separate ways. So as of right now, the business is just food reviews and whatever I come up with, usually coming up with something kind of crazy like pomegranate and Hennessy wings or sweet tea brine fried chicken, things like that. At Kudos Food Dose, @ KUDOSFOODDOSE on Instagram.
All right, so I'm going to jump right into it. So whether or not we say it, every man has a desire for relationship and community. There's nothing greater than having that in a significant other, but we find that in our generation, people are making more and more excuses of why they can't be exclusive. Most of the time, it's boiling down to the art of pursuing a woman. So, question is there a correct way to pursue a woman that we're interested in? Let's talk about it.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
No.
we got two yeses and no's.
Okay.
I'm in the middle. I say yes and no, just depending.
I'm intrigued.
That's a no.
I'm intrigued. Why is it a no?
Correct. So I think there are certain foundations, right, that I think every man should use to pursue a woman. But a lot of times when we create these lists, these laundry lists of things you have to do to get a woman, it can take you outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Being yourself, which is what a woman should be attracted to. The way I speak is different from the way Mike speaks, different from the way Drex and you speak. The way we connect and present ourselves is different. So I think there are foundations, like obviously respect her, love her, blah, 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 blah. But the approach may be a little bit different for me than it is for Drex.
But do you think, so the approach may be different, but do you think that there is a basis, like a basic
foundation?
Yeah.
I mean,
To everything.
there's a foundation to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like business, but the way I run my business may be a little bit different. The way and to say like, oh, the way I run is wrong, that's subjective.
I think, because you said the word approach. So the way I look at it, to me, there's a difference between approaching a woman and pursuing a woman. And I think a lot of men know how to approach a woman, but they don't know how to pursue. And I think of it this way. I think of it like a police officer. When a police officer approaches a suspect, there's some questions, there's some doubt there. Maybe you look like the person I'm looking for, but you may not be the person, so I may be wrong. But if they're pursuing a criminal, then it's like, no, I know you're the person that I'm looking for, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you.
Oh, that's good.
And I think men know how to approach a woman. You know, they know how to spit game. They know how to, you know, whisper sweet nothings in her ear. They know the smooth, suave things to do to get her interest.
Mhm.
But then they're not consistent in pursuing her heart and knowing, yo, you are who I'm looking for, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to chase you down and get you.
That makes
So-
sense.
You know how to spit game?
Back in the day,
Hold on.
Oh.
If he gonna talk about it, he gotta do it right.
you gotta
Go ahead.
you gotta put
You had
that on
him
while
on
you say
earlier.
that.
You had him on earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Look at the camera. Let him know.
so back in the day,
Tell him, Benjamin, how you used to spit that game, baby.
well, for me it was a little different because I used
That was quick.
In and out.
well, because back in the day,
OG
I would use music to spit game. I was a really good singer back in high school and middle school, so I would use kind of the music that was on the radio to get the girls and, you know, sing songs to them like Usher.
you would-
and-
You ever
Hold
seen?
on, no
You
more?
ever seen that video? There's these two little kids in the hood. The girl was standing against the wall, and the boy was like singing and
That was
dancing.
Drexler?
That was Drex.
You would just walk up and start singing?
to the girls I liked, yeah.
Yeah,
You just
pull-
walk up
He just
and-
pull them down the
and
hallway
just
and
be
be like, "Hey,
like,
girl."
what?
I just walk up, I had my iPod, I just start playing the songs
And you
and
start
Oh,
singing?
you did it better than
I-
he did. He
was-
had no iPod.
yeah, I would just start singing and then the girls would kind of vibe with me and I saw they were vibing.
In high
I
school? Oh, you're a little bit younger. Never mind.
what?
That's amazing. That's an amazing story. I could never just walk up to a woman and start singing.
I just how did
Yeah.
like what happened?
What was
after
their
that?
reaction? Were they like, "Ooh, child, you can sing"?
A lot of the girls really liked
gotta get a
it.
little more country.
There was actually, I'll never forget it. There was a talent show I did, and I convinced one of the cutest girls in the school to be kind of like the video model in the routine.
So he was a pimp.
I don't want to say I was a pimp, but I don't remember this happening.
There's an implication there.
yeah. Look,
I don't remember it happening this way, but apparently they said near the end of the song, me and the girl kind of like started going down on the stage.
Going down where?
So you was a
I don't know. All I remember is her friend ran on the stage, grabbed her, and pulled her off. She was like, "Y'all was about to do some stuff on stage." I was like, "I don't remember
Where's your
that."
accountability?
Oh,
there?
now all of a sudden you black. That's when Benjamin kicked in.
Where,
probably.
where's
Benjamin
the-
was like,
where's
"I
the
got this."
accountability.
that was fully Benjamin the whole time.
Benjamin was like, "She finna get this work."
I don't remember it
From the
happening
minute
that
he
way.
started singing, that was Benjamin.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you black out, right? Yeah.
But again, that
Nah,
was
but you said you don't remember it happening that way, but that means the story has been told a bunch of times to you.
in high school. It was. But again, this was me
The
knowing.
same way.
let me find out you started the Me Too movement.
Oh, Jesus.
So moving on.
Let's get back to the topic.
But that was my way of approaching. That was my way of approaching was using
Singing.
music.
Okay.
Yeah. But once I got their attention, I never knew how to keep it
I
and
got you.
pursue them.
I
So
got you.
that's
No,
why I say it's different.
I think that's a
Yeah.
good point.
That's a good one.
Yeah, difference between approaching and pursuing. Never thought about because I see it as like one stream of things.
Mhm.
But there is kind of a okay, I've approached you, I got your attention. Now what do I do with it?
Mhm.
I feel you on that.
And I've heard like with pursuing, right? Like there's
Only one without black.
I've been told in just having conversation like, oh, you know, if she like turns you down, just keep going after her. You know, don't. I'm like, well, that's kind of like borderline stalking. She told me
Yeah.
no, not pop about her job. Like, look, I know you said no, right? But hear me out, right? Like it just
I've actually done that.
yeah.
Oh, so
Oh.
y'all pulled a Joe from you?
It's just a. So there's a space to where you are approaching to pursue, and then she's like, nah, and then there's a space and I'm like, well, don't give up. Like if you know that that's for you.
Mm.
But I think there's also a way to go about that because then you can be the Joes from you where you're just obsessing and moving closer to them, watching their movements and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Or like with me and my wife, like it was crazy how everything happened. Like when I met her, I was dating somebody and then, you know, God did his thing and basically sent somebody to tell me like, you need to end things because what I have for you is right in front of you.
Gotcha.
Or technically behind me because she was behind me when that person prophesied to me. But she knew about all of the stuff that was going down. And so when I ended it with the other girl, I was like, hey, she's like, no.
Mm.
But for me, I'm like, nah, I know God told me
Yeah.
something. And I'm Like, and I'm gonna just pursue friendship with you. So I think in that regard, if somebody tells you no, if a woman tells you no, I think it's okay to pursue friendship.
Yeah.
And that's how, is
No.
in a
I understand. I know why you said
I
no.
know why you're saying
No.
that. I know why you're saying that. But I think it's
Are you saying no to pursuing the friendship?
I was waiting for you
I'm
to open your
saying
mouth.
no. Friendship.
no. But in a healthy way.
What does that look like?
Not being like
Letting her know that you like her.
Yeah, like letting the intentions be known. Like with my wife, I said, hey, like I like you, but I know that we're not together, but I do want to pursue you. And I'm like, I'm putting that out there. And it's all about
Let her make the
how she
decision.
feels.
Yeah.
And for her, it was like, I like you. I just don't know yet.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
That's a different story though.
Right. That's what I
Compared
said.
to a woman who doesn't like you.
Right.
Yeah.
If she
Okay,
don't
okay,
like
okay.
you, then stop.
Yeah.
If she don't like you,
just
stop.
Don't
Just stop.
pursue.
Just go away.
And don't go after her friends. That's horrible.
Oh.
Yeah, that becomes sticky.
How so?
First off, because they're all
Facts.
well,
You gonna learn.
because they're all in the same
gonna
circle. It's just gonna look weird if you pursued one woman and then all of a sudden you start pursuing her friends or you start dating her friends. It just looks weird.
I know. I've done it before in high school. It wasn't a good thing. I just want to know how you know.
I mean,
You done it before too?
You might as well just keep these glasses on.
have I dated my my ex's friends? No,
No.
never done that.
But
Yeah,
have
it's
you
kinda weird.
dated a friend of somebody that you like?
You taking too long.
So
Yes.
okay, so my ex-girlfriend in high school, she was actually one of my closest friends' girlfriend. And my ex called me and said she didn't like dating my friends. She'd rather date me. So she asked me to break them up, which I did. I kind of
This is in his old life. Let's
Oh no,
make
I'm
that clear.
trying to follow. I'm trying to follow.
okay. So my friend was dating this girl who I was attracted to.
Okay.
The girl called me, said, I don't want to date your friend anymore. I want to date you. Can you break us up so that me and her could get together? So I kind of started feeding things into his mind to break them up. They broke up December 4th, 2007 at 4:30 p.m.
What? My
You
dog
know,
got
times and
They
days.
got
Wait,
timestamp where he breaking up people?
Wait, I remember that because at 7:30 that same
Oh
night,
my
me and her went
gosh,
on our
Jackson.
first date.
So
Wow.
the moral of this story
Find Jesus.
is that that old Benjamin is trash.
Yeah, I'm not that person anymore. But I do have another question. Do you think, because Raji kind of brought it up, do you think personality has anything to do with how you pursue a woman?
100%.
Yeah.
So for me, I was raised to be the gentleman, open doors for women. You know what I'm saying? You listen to them. You engage in the conversation. That's just like my MO. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a woman that I really, really wanted to pursue, there is an extra bit of energy towards them than any other woman. Because I'm a friendly dude, or I'm a personable guy. I'll say I'm not friendly. I'll say I'm personable, right? So if I engage in conversation with anyone, male or female, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? We hear.
Mhm.
Talking to you. So a lot of times, like, women would think, "Oh, he likes me, blah 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 blah. He's flirting." No, I'm just talking to you. Like, I'm just engaging in conversation. But to women that I really liked, I would set aside time for them. Oops, sorry about that. Usually, my conversation was the one. I feel like my conversation was the one that, we used to call we bad girls, and that's so bad. Like, we used to bag them.
Bag them like groceries.
Yeah, bag 'em like
Hey.
that's so bad.
Oh,
but-
I thought you said bad girl.
no, bag, BAG. But
Okay.
anyway,
I
so
started playing another song.
I think like my conversational skills was really the thing that kind of attracted whoever I was talking to, because of how it like zoned in I was to that person. And I'm just a weird dude. Like, I'm a big nerd, and I guess some women like nerds, so it's all good.
Does anybody believe in like just letting things organically happen?
What does that look like?
Yeah, that's
It kind of just like falls together for itself. Kind of.
Like, you're not doing anything?
No, you're doing something.
And you
like
just bump into
you
her,
happen
"Oh,
to
here's
meet
your
the
pencil."
right person here. Yeah, and then
I
it
got
just
you.
like you guys create a friendship, and then you end up like it just organically comes together.
I got
Is
you.
that like a thing?
I think it is, but I think
Instead of like, hey, I like you, and then it's just like
well, I mean, yeah, don't do
not.
that. That's-
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Is
But
there like a where
I
it
think-
flows?
yeah, I think that you there is a good balance between letting things flow, like organically happen, but also making intentions known.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Because like
intention is a big thing.
if you don't, like if you let things flow and you don't make intentions known, that's when the women are like, what are you doing? Where you don't
What's
know.
next? Yeah,
You're just like, yeah, I'm flowing with the wind.
Yeah.
Like if we going here tonight, that's where we going.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you don't want to talk to me for a week? Oh, cool, straight. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
like there's a balance between the two.
I think I think especially in the media, they sometimes emphasize it's just going to happen naturally, but it's like there's a little bit of work you got to put behind it.
Mhm.
You do have to be the one to plan the dates, for example. They just don't naturally happen. You're the one who has to initiate the conversations, initiate the relationship. But I think once you've gotten the ball rolling, then it's like a snowball effect where it starts to build more and more on its own.
That's
Yeah.
good.
But you gotta push it to go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, you gotta push it,
yeah.
and then it starts rolling. Then you gotta start packing more ice on it, you feel me?
I feel what you're saying.
Does that make
but-
any sense?
Nah, yeah, but what he was singing is
Too much. Oh,
two
too,
different.
I was just the beat.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's I think that's perfect, man. Because as you were saying that, like I said, there's a smooth motion between approaching and then going into pursue mode.
Mhm.
And in pursue mode is like, well, yeah, things should happen naturally. You know, you don't want to rush things, but then I think there are times as men that we should start packing on that ice to kind of make the snowball. It's a little bit bigger, right?
Mhm.
And that ice could mean, okay, well, I got to put in the time to call you. I got to put in the time to text you. I got to let you know that I'm continuously interested throughout time, not just in the beginning, but you know, this is genuine. So a month in, a year in, like I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm present. You know what I'm saying?
And I've heard from a lot of female friends that I have that like it'll start off that way,
Mm-hmm.
and then
just-
old boy will just go ghost for like 2 days, 3 days, and just pop back up.
That's
It's like,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah. It's I mean it's and between that and shooting with text every morning, hey beautiful, like come on,
Fellas, stop doing that.
yeah, horrible.
Unless
Stop doing that.
unless it's
Or
the-
that they don't like it. I don't know
Stop
who
it.
don't.
unless you're dating, then
But at that
Even
point,
that, because he'd be like, what, you know, WYD. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, don't do
and
that.
that's
Like,
it.
like at least just write it out. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, just
get
but
a full sentence
the
out there.
the hey beautiful.
the hey
every morning,
beautiful, like
I just kind of feel like if
for my wife, she appreciates it.
well,
so.
that's your wife. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if I'm
But even when we were dating, though, I think it was still like something that she appreciated.
you
to
did it
know that I-
every morning though.
pretty much.
I was gonna say I think it depends on.
Maybe it just depends on the person.
I was
I've-
gonna say
Yeah.
I've gotten feedback from women. They're like, yeah, like here
Stop.
you go.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but it's also
mean-
the type of guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's true.
my ex actually liked it when I started doing that. When I texted her, you know, "Good morning, sunshine" every day. She loved that, and she actually would get upset if I didn't text that to her. But then she
Mm.
started getting upset when she found out I was also texting it to other women too. So
Oh, boy.
that became a issue.
Benjamin,
You were just
what?
putting your stuff out
Benjamin,
there,
what you
bro.
been doing in your past?
Yeah, we're gonna rename
we're
this
gonna have a
episode
whole
to,
we're gonna have
to
episode
trash.
episode trash featuring Benjamin.
What? I know you got some stories though.
What? Nah, I'm a saint, dog. I'm
Sorry,
not-
hold on. We totally forgot. This episode is called Exclusive No Excuses from the artists known as Day 26.
Yes, amazing song. Actually, amazing artist.
They are amazing artists. Just
Yeah,
need
it's a
to put
group.
that in there.
Yeah, artist.
Amazing group.
Girl.
Go watch
Girl.
Making the Band. All right, back
Hey,
to it.
continue, Benjamin. About
Nah,
your
I was
trash
just-
ways.
Yeah, I was just saying, if I got these stories, I know you got some too.
Nah,
Man, we all got stories, bro.
nah,
so,
man, not me.
man, you got some stories.
Nah, I used to go
You over here
home.
talking about going to the club. 7
Mike,
times
you
a
was in the
week.
club
Right.
7 nights a
What?
week. You have stories.
Bro, we have a
Oh.
recording.
What? Oh, that's right, we do, right?
Yeah.
Play the clip.
So
Yeah, like I remember going out 7 nights a week.
ain't no way you gonna tell us out of 7 days, at least one of those days,
Yeah.
you ain't have a trash story.
Nah, but about these pursuing women thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you pursue women?
Horribly.
Oof.
Horribly. Like, I can say right now that I don't know how to pursue a woman correctly in the new life that I'm living.
Mhm.
In the old life, I was never the guy that like, oh, I got game. Like, hey, baby, what's up? What's your name? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I did that one time at the bar, walked up, so I have all the questions in my head that I'm gonna ask.
Mm.
It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Mike. What's your name? Oh, my name is so and so. Oh, can I buy you a drink? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hey, let me get two, man. You know what I'm saying?
You did that?
Right?
You did that?
Yeah, hey, let me get two. You know what I mean?
That's
So then we start.
funny, man.
So then it starts off with, oh, so where are you from? Oh, I'm from so and so. Then I said, where I'm from. Oh, what do you do? This is what she does. This is what I do. All right.
Mm.
At that point, I had ran out of questions, and we just standing there drinking a drink, looking at each other. Maybe for like an awkward, I don't know if it was 2 minutes. It was the longest time ever I felt. I'm just drinking because I don't know what to say. She was like, all right, well, I'm gonna meet my friends. I was like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying?
You said, all right, man.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Let's
you know,
immediately friends
yeah,
zone
and she just
yourself.
like walked away. After that, I said, that's it. I don't like that works for some people, but not for me.
You
I'm
have
more
no
just
follow-up questions.
Nah, I'm not good at that. I'm good at more like conversation in the group. I'm good at more, you know what I mean? Not walking up, hey, go talk to that girl. Like, that's not, because I've always been weird. That's always been weird to me.
Hey, man, get her.
Yeah, like,
So
It's so bad. Man.
so how would you pursue a woman now?
New mic.
well, I don't know how I would do it per se, but I know like intentional is a thing, right? Consistency is a thing.
Mhm.
So with those two things added on to, what the Bible said, obviously, about finding a man finds a good wife and et cetera, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Knowing that, having to know that she is the one for me and not just walking up to random women and trying to, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so for me, it's a lot of that. So intentional and consistency will be my two main things. And I just kind of feel like I don't know. I legit don't know. So I don't want to say the wrong thing. Just be out here looking wild.
How was it for you, Roger?
You mean like my bad stuff or my good stuff?
No, I mean just like how was it for you pursuing Lynn?
It was definitely different from every other woman. So typically, like I said, I would allow my, sounds really bad, but like my intellect and my music as well. I was really a big music head, so when we were in the car, I always be bumping some crazy weird stuff, like some not weird stuff, but like neo soul. You know what I'm saying? The D'Angelo's, Erykah Badu, stuff that people don't really bump in their cars. So they're like, "Ooh, what is this?" Oh, girl, this is Dwele. You never heard of Dwele? You know, so or this is Lupe Fiasco. You never heard of Lupe? So they found me as different, than the most guys. And then I'll play the gentleman card, but really I was just a wolf in sheep's clothing. Man, I'm so bad. So after being saved, giving my life to Christ, being mentored by other men, and seeing what healthy relationships look like, with Lynn, I was like, man, I gotta do this right. So we were like straight up, I was like, listen, we just need to be friends. Let's just chill. Let's get to know each other, because in the past, I would jump right into things head first. And obviously it always crash landed. So this go around, I was like, yo, I'm just gonna go slow, chill. Let's get to know each other. We were friends for about 3 months.
Same.
Yeah, friends for about 3 months. And then I took her out to dinner, you know what I'm saying? And I asked her out. I was like, hey, I like you. I really like who you are and where you're going. Let's make this a relationship, So, and then we dated. But even in that, who mentioned consistency? I think you mentioned consistency. Still making sure that I'm taking her out on dates, making sure that I'm being vulnerable, you know what I'm saying, and allowing her into my space. So I think that's a big thing. Like a lot of times we try to conform things a lot, and it's like, no, just allow that person into your space and vice versa. And I think once you do that, you kind of break down those walls and the person sees who you are. That's really helpful. So going about it the slow route, obviously, I mean, we were married with child.
Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations on that.
This man has had his first child.
Yes,
2
yes.
weeks
man.
old.
Yeah, man. But going about it the slow route, well, slower than what I was used to. So it wasn't really that slow. Helped out, man, and doing it God's way as well. You know, we abstained throughout the entire time we were together. If you don't know what abstaining means, that means not having sex. Most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life. But that opened up the opportunity to really get to know her as a person.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is it's monumental, man. Because you know, with sex can
It
can cloud you.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a makeup. It's a mask. It gives the illusion of love and bonding, but not really.
It's just lust.
It's just lust. That's all it is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I think that approach for me. I mean, I was still myself. Like we bonded off like comic books because she's a big comic book nerd and I'm a big comic book nerd as well. Bonded off of comic books. She loves Harry Potter. I don't like Harry Potter, but I can understand the lore. You know, we bonded off of stuff like that, and we're just different people, and we just connected in that way. So,
Sweet.
what you got?
Got a shirt that says Linda Rogers.
Oh,
Oh. Oh. Okay.
what is?
Oh.
Oh.
Hey.
Yes, snapbacks.
Right?
Oh,
Okay. Oh.
Got our
So,
own merch
Sorry,
here.
this is Benjamin on it.
okay. It's not opening.
So if you didn't realize, this is an ad break. So today's podcast is sponsored by the new formenbymen.com. Yep, that's right. I know it sounds weird, but it is the only way to announce that we have a brand new website.
Yes.
So now
Brand new website.
there is one place to find all the episodes, connect with us, and get your merch. That's right. We got merch too. 2 custom collections that will only be here for a limited time. So let people know you're on the journey to being authentically you by going to 4menbymen.shop. It's 2 places. That is 4menbymen.shop. Standard shipping rates for your area apply. Get you some merch.
Drex, I like that headline. I feel like you went to a NASCAR.
Funny is, I'm not really a hat person, but I'm kind of digging this.
How you digging it? Now you can't even see yourself. Can't even see yourself.
I can see myself on the camera over there.
Yeah.
All
right.
Okay, so how do we, talking about the difference between approaching and actually pursuing and the different reasons we may not pursue, how do we as men stop making excuses and actually become exclusive in pursuing a woman?
I feel a lot of it is like in the generation we live in now, like people are having multiple, like you said, like in your past, you would text and send it to other girls. I don't feel how you can really, I don't see how you can talk to 5 people at the same time and really, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't, it won't come together that way. If you're out talking to 5 people and then out the 5, then you narrow down to 3 and then it just becomes like a,
Competition.
that competition. Yeah. And so it's really stepping back and just stopping. And a lot of it is God, man. A lot of it is God and letting him, like, before I knew who I was. Today, in this moment, probably one of the reasons why I haven't really pursued a woman like that, because I want for me who God wants for me. I know what I wanted back in the day, and that crashed and burned horribly. Right.
Truth.
So now I'm stepping back and I'm like, God, whoever you want for me is who I want for myself. So it's just letting him lead you in that way. And he will, if nothing has caught my eye in that sense to where I'm strong about it, that means, like, for me in my life, I feel that means like there's things that still need to be chipped off. Right. Because he's not going to give me his ultimate gift. And I still got things that I need to deal with that I'm not dealing with or whatever. You know what I mean? So I feel like once certain things are continuing to be chipped off, and then at some point, like, someone will catch my eye, and then, it'll be God given, and you'll know, kind of, like with Lauren and with Len, like, it'll be God given and you'll know, kind of feel. Yeah, man. It just narrows down to that, because if you do it the world way, you're gonna be out here on these dating apps talking to like 4 women.
So you don't believe in casual dating, like casually dating 2 women?
No. Only for me, it was never casual. It was, yeah. So
I got you.
if I go back to that, for me, it's in my mind, I'm going back to my old life,
I got
because
you.
it wasn't.
I feel like casual dating was like something that was made up in like TV. Or it became more popular with TV.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like it still gets to me how like somebody can say like, I'm taking you out, or somebody can take somebody out, and then on their mind, they're like, I got another date with somebody, maybe later on in the day.
Mm.
Like with a whole nother person. Like you're shifting
Yeah, you're
your
like,
feelings to another
and
person.
you're just trying to, at that point, I feel like you're just trying to keep yourself busy. Like you just don't want to be alone.
Mm.
If you need to go out with multiple dates with multiple women, like there's something in you. Like you just can't be alone. You just can't sit home and chill and like figure it out. You got to be here, there, and everywhere.
So one thing, and I know that this is something that we've all been learning, or have learned in the last few years, but I think the biggest way that men can stop being scared to be exclusive is by understanding what it means to be a man. So the definition of manhood that we've been given is it's 4 things. It's reject passivity, accept responsibility, lead courageously, and invest internally.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just we as men, like we, with passivity, like we don't like to pursue, or we don't like to ask the hard questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think where our stories are similar is that we made our intentions known. We weren't passive. So if we were passive, like we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. We just doing something different.
Yeah.
Accepting responsibility, like be quick to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like we all mess up. Like
Yeah,
as men,
true.
we are going to mess up, and even in that, just accepting responsibility. Like if even things are not our fault, like we could find ways to make things better.
Yeah.
So we accept that responsibility, and like leading courageously. Like you got to understand, like when you're pursuing a woman, like you are bringing this person under you before God.
True.
Like you have to lead. Women are trusting us to lead them in with God through life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's huge. Like if we can't ever get in our own minds and be like, nah, I just don't feel like doing it today.
Yeah. So first of all, I love what you said, man. That's so big. There's 2 things that come to mind very quickly. Number one, I was watching this show called 7 Seconds with Regina King.
Yeah.
Really good. I was kind of hesitant to watch it, but it's actually really good.
I think she got an award off that, right?
Oh, for her? I don't know, man, but I love Regina King, especially for her Boondock stuff. But anyways, in the show, there's a character in the show that said that I guess apologized for something she didn't really need to apologize for. She was a lawyer, and she's working with a detective, right? And the detective's like, "Why did you apologize? That was unnecessary." She's like, "The apology didn't cost me anything, but it meant the world to that person."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, that is amazing. And it's so true. A lot of times we're so stubborn as men, as people, but men as well. Men, I think particularly, because we're so logical and blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
Sometimes, not all the time. And we get into this idea that, oh, I'm going to be prideful. I don't need to apologize. But it's like, nah, even if you were not in the wrong, sometimes you have to go ahead and just give that apology, man, and allow the Holy Spirit to work in that moment. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's so crucial to do that, because as the leader of the household, right, it's our job to make sure the temperature is good. Mm-hmm. Right. So sometimes we gotta play with that dial a little bit,
mm-hmm.
And there are gonna be times where it's like, man, you cold, but she's hot. You gotta, adjust it to make sure she's good. I really don't like the term happy wife, happy life, but there's truth to that. I think there's some truth to that.
As long as your wife is submitted to Jesus.
Yeah, I don't like it. So let me explain.
Yes.
I don't like the term because then it can make the man acquiesce to the woman, meaning that he just fully submits to everything the woman does, regardless of how bad it is.
That's just being
And
passive.
I think that's being passive. I think obviously there's a moment where she is being, and vice versa.
Mhm.
If someone, man or woman, is being disrespectful to you, then you should make that be known in a very gracious, seasoned with salt type of way. But you should make that be known.
You should have the special conversations.
Yes, the S-cons. We bringing that back. But yeah, but to a large extent, checking the temperature of your relationship, of your marriage, is very, very necessary to make sure that there is cohesion. You know what I'm saying? There's unity. There's an understanding. You know, that's important. I forgot what the second thing was, so I'm gonna move on.
Well, I was going to say something Mike said about, knowing yourself and chipping away at those things you're still working on. It made me think about this article that you had sent out. I think the title was like, "But You're a 6" or something like that. It was basically talking about the things that we as men look for in women. But there was a part of the article that was saying, this guy, he was dating a girl and he was like, yeah, she's amazing, but there's like 2 or 3 small things about her. They're insignificant. He was like, yeah, that's not what I was looking for in a woman. And his friend was like, so you're basically looking for a 10, but brother, you're a 6. Like, how can you expect perfection from her and you're imperfect? And that hit me hard. 'Cause I was like, dang, am I out here looking for a 10 and I'm
That's
acting like
so
a
true.
4?
That was my second.
Yo, I'm putting everybody on notice. That's the type of language I'm coming with now.
Yeah. Looking
Yeah.
for a 10, but
That was
6,
real.
bro.
But
I'm a judge
You
y'all.
a D.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
in grading.
But-
That's a D.
That
But I
is
mean,
real.
that's real. And I've actually had to say that to some guys who talk to me like, man, I'm trying to find this. I'm like, but brother, you a 6. You can't even be consistent in coming to church, but you're going to be consistent in,
Nah, that's a 2, bro.
Yeah.
well,
And you know what? Those conversations are hard. There was a friend of mine, right? And this guy's, every time he would come to her office, like, oh, I love you. Oh, I want to be with. No, I love you. Let me take that back. Oh, I want to be with you. I want to be like you, mine. I want to be with you. Like all the time. She was like, no, all the time, right? And so he was in there one time. And she put me on the phone with him, and I was like, so you want to be with her? And he was like, yeah. I was like, all right. So you need to understand, like, there's certain things you need to have in place. You know what I'm saying? Like, what your savings account look like? You know, where do you live? Do you still live with your parents? Do you have your own place? If she wants to go on vacation, can you do that? Like, you want it from the way it looks, but then once you step in there, you're like, oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like when you step in there and she wants these things, then all of a sudden now she's a gold digger or she's or high class or fancy or whatever. But no, you didn't even prepare yourself to step into that room. You looked at the features and all that, and you wanted it, but you didn't realize what it was going to take to actually keep that. Yeah. I think that's a big mistake a lot of men make. You're walking by like, oh, she bad. I want that. And then you get it. And then she expects certain things. And then you're like, oh, she's a gold digger, dog. All she wants is money. All she wants is like, well, no, like, what you thought you was going to do? Date her, not take her out ever?
Yeah.
You know, you thought you was like, you shouldn't have money in savings to do things in case emergencies pop up. Like, you know, these things. So that is pretty funny though. You're a 6.
it's about the standards that the woman holds the man up to. I know a guy who said one time, he was like, yo, I ain't dating a girl if she thinks Applebee's is not an appropriate first date. And I was like, but you can take her to a nicer place and spend about the same amount of money, but it's
Applebee's?
nicer. Well, he was saying
I thought you said Applebee's. Go ahead.
No, he was saying his first date, he would want to go to Applebee's with the girl.
Okay.
I like
I
Applebee's.
mean, I haven't been there since college. I'm not opposed to it, but it's a
For
sin in my house to say it. So,
but for a first date though,
For a first date?
yeah, like
I think Applebee's
I mean,
is straight.
I think here's the thing. You don't want to, and I've been thinking about this the whole time. You don't wait with first dates. You want to set the expectation, but unless you balling, like unless you got like 100,000 in your account, cool. Go to Eddie V's, do all of that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like if you're, you live in paycheck to paycheck, like most people in America, like first date, you probably shouldn't go to Eddie V's because if you can't keep up with that, if you can't keep up with going to steakhouses and 5-star restaurants, like what's like you work up to that.
Yeah.
Like you show them that it's not about status. It's just like I'm here focused on you.
Exactly. And that's why, so I'm gonna be honest, I partially disagree with what you said. And the reason being, because I understand where you're coming from because you're a little bit older. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Mid-30s, oh, heck yeah, make sure that your stuff is good.
Yeah.
But I think for men that are in their early 20s, early to mid 20s, even somewhat late 27, 26, you know, in today's kind of financial scope, man, cats are still trying to find their way with things respectfully.
So that's what's missing from the story. He's a younger cat
okay.
in the 20s wanting an older woman.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
So
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
okay.
I get you. But let's say it's a
Yeah.
25-year-old wanting another 25.
Yeah.
Right.
Then that's different.
And it's like, okay, cool. You're
both probably broke.
you're not gonna have 10, 15. I mean, unless you were really like living off of peanut jelly. I mean, you're already living off of peanut jelly sandwiches and ramen noodle soup in college.
Yeah.
You feel me? But if you were like really skimping, yeah, you might have 5 or 10,000 in the bank. That's cool. But most people don't. And I think that's where the intentionality, the character of the man comes through, and it says, "Yo, listen, I don't have it like this, but this is what I do have, and I'm willing to share it with you."
Yeah.
Again, allowing that person into your space
And being vulnerable.
and being transparent and being honest. And I think if a woman sees that, my opinion, I hope so. I hope that if a woman sees that, then she's like, okay, this dude is, he's real and he's vulnerable. He's not trying to wine and dine me and, take out credit cards just to take me out and try to give me this fancy life. He's saying, hey, this is what I have now, but this is what I want for you later. And I think that's a big thing.
And for guys, like, if you see that all she wants to do is be wine and dine and just don't want to get to know you or have like conversations, that's a quick red flag.
You got another red in here?
Matter of fact, when you're around her, call her. If it says food as your name, you gotta go.
Yeah, you know what? Because it hasn't happened
to you before.
It hasn't happened to me. But if you're dating somebody and you're not sure like how they think about you, like when they got their phone on the table, just slip your phone out and call them. See what your name come up as.
And then
you'll know real
make
quick.
a general decision real quick.
I never thought about that.
It literally just came to me now.
I never thought
Yeah. Because women, like, they categorize things and like what they want. So if they want to eat, like they'll go through the list of dudes that they want to go to eat with. You know what I mean? Like,
You just make sure you got their name right in your phone.
Or see what emoji's next to your name. That sometimes tells you too what they think
God.
about you.
yes, that's true.
I've been out for a minute.
What
game.
emoji you used to have next to your name?
I've been out the game
Next
for
to my
5
name,
years.
I know.
I've been out for
Well,
a minute. So.
one girl had a heart next
6
to my
years,
name.
actually.
So
Next to your name was a
that-
heart.
it was a
Okay.
heart. So that was a good thing. But then another girl one time had a monkey next to my name, and I
Oh,
was like,
geez.
that don't.
A monkey.
Monkey could mean different things.
I wasn't too sure what that meant, but I was like, I have a feeling this ain't gonna work, and it didn't work out. Thank God, because she was.
Because she thought you was a monkey.
I don't know how.
I don't even want to.
I don't know what she thought it was,
She
but
must have been a freak. Anyhow.
I don't know.
All right, close us up.
All right. So we want to bring it back to the word, just give you one piece of godly wisdom from the Bible in 1 Corinthians 11:3, where it says, but I want you to understand that the head of every man is Christ, the head of a wife is her husband, and the head of Christ is God.
Mhm.
So there is a hierarchy of order
Mhm.
when it comes to submission. So, making sure that we as men are submitted to Christ and allowing him to be the ones to lead us in pursuing a woman the
Mhm.
right way, because he's not going to guide us the wrong way.
And that's how you invest eternally.
Yes.
And let me just make one quick comment on that, because I know a lot of women are really big on that submission word.
Yeah.
So understand, I'm looking at the camera. Is it on me?
Yeah, you can.
Understand that your submission to a man does not mean any man. Okay? And that the man must be submitted to God first, meaning that the love of Christ, the patience of Christ, the hope, the long suffering, the faithfulness, the goodness, the kindness that he imbues men with will then pass on to you. That's number one. Number two, very quickly, is that man is also submitting to you, right? Right. So if we're
say
supposed
it one more time.
man is also submitting to you as well. God commanded us to love women the way Jesus loved the Christ. And what did Christ do, y'all?
He gave up his
He
life.
died for the church. So if the church is the bride to Christ and we're supposed to model that, then you are our bride and we should die for you daily. I mean, dying being like not like killing ourselves, like dying to the flesh, dying to our selfish desires, dying to our pride, dying to our anger. So just understand it's an equal connection, an equal thing where as man submits to Christ, women submits to man, but man is also serving and loving the woman as well. Just in case there's some women out there like, oh, well, these Christians, I'm gonna go with that submit thing. Yeah, submit. Listen, man, it's not like we're over and, we're dictators. We're just the leaders.
We're the covering.
We're the covering. Just like God covers the whole house. God covers us. He's covering you as well. We're supposed to cover the household. So, yeah, that's what I got. Just in case.
I appreciate the disclaimer.
Okay. So we challenge you over the next 3 weeks to find guys in your circle and ask them what's stopping you from getting exclusive.
And don't play no games.
No games.
No excuses.
No excuses.
No.
Pun intended.
Kill all the excuses. Reject passivity. Accept your responsibility as the man.
Yes.
Lead courageously and invest in yourself and in your woman eternally so y'all can get to glory together.
And get your merch.
Get your dad hats. Look cool like us.
Your dad hats.
Isn't that what they're called? Dad
Yeah,
hats?
that's what they're called.
That's what they're called?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what they're called. That.
Dads used to wear these.
Yeah.
a while ago.
Because they got
Exclusively?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for the most part.
because they're not
Oh,
the
really?
snapbacks.
Culture.
So
So you got that hat?
This is a dad hat. Yeah. If it's like this, it's called a dad hat. Yeah.
It's just like the material.
No, what's that? You mad because you a dad now?
Listen, man, now when I tell jokes to Lynn, every joke is now a dad joke. It's like,
like 2 weeks ago, it was
2 weeks
all
ago was
good.
no dad joke. Now it's a dad joke.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. We pray that this conversation has given you food for thought and to start your own conversations with the circle of brothers and grow in authentic manhood.
And we'd love to hear your responses in the comment section on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Just remember, follow us on Instagram at 4mbm.podcast.
We are 4 Men by Men. We'll see you next time.